Hello my good friends, Derek Deschamps here for Exclusively PS with your PlayStation Weekly News. On this week's show I'll talk about some big changes for Final Fantasy VII Remake, as well as some new developments with the Hitman franchise. I'll also talk about the retro-inspired Sonic Mania, Overwatch's new map called Horizon Lunar Colony, Injustice 2's Wonder Woman themed event, Bastion and Transistor creators' new game called Pyre, Super Mega Baseball 2, the horror game Perception, and an upcoming PSVR slot car racing game called Tiny Trax. That's all coming up on the PlayStation Weekly News. Some big changes were announced this week for Final Fantasy VII Remake as Square Enix revealed they have taken the game's development in-house. The game was previously being worked on by external partners, including outsourcing company CyberConnect 2. The move was made to maintain a stable schedule and give Square Enix more control over factors such as quality. They've stated they will now be forming a robust system within the company to properly carry out the game's development. Unfortunately, we may have to wait some time before getting our hands on the game, as Square Enix president Yosuke Masuda stated they plan to release both Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom of Hearts 3 within the next 3 years. Some good news for Hitman fans. Square Enix has stated that although they cut ties with the game's developer IO Interactive, they are currently negotiating with prospective external investors to ensure the franchise can carry on. The Hitman franchise's fate had been brought into question earlier this month when Square Enix announced they were dropping the game's developer IO Interactive due to the nature of the competitive landscape in the Western markets. The news does not guarantee the future of the Hitman franchise, but it does provide a glimmer of hope for Hitman fans. Sega announced this week that Sonic Mania will be making its way to the PS4 on August 15, 2017. Sonic Mania is a 2D side-scrolling platformer where players take control of Sonic the Hedgehog, Tails the Fox, or Knuckles the Echidna, each with their own unique abilities as they battle the evil Dr. Eggman and his henchmen, the Hard-Boiled Heavies. The game will feature both new and remixed levels of classic Sonic stages, including the Green Hill Zone from the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Hidden giant rings will also be available, allowing players to warp to special stages when the game hits the PS4 on August 15, 2017. Blizzard unveiled a new map called Horizon Lunar Colony for Overwatch this week. Horizon Lunar Colony is an assault map set in a scientific base on the moon. The base was used for scientists to study the effects of prolonged extraterrestrial habitation on both humans and apes, and was the former home of the game's iconic character Winston. The new map features a low-gravity section which has also been added as a new custom map option, as well as an option on arcade maps for a limited time. No release date for Horizon Lunar Colony has yet been announced, but it won't be far off as it's already available on the PC public test round. A new multiverse event called To End All Wars launched this week for Injustice 2. All players who complete the event between now and June 5th will be rewarded with a full set of Wonder Woman's gear from the new Wonder Woman film starring Gal Gadot. If you're unable to complete the event before June 5th, you'll still have a chance to earn the new gear, as once the event is complete, it'll be added to the game's pool of random rewards. Supergiant Games announced this week that their upcoming title Pyre will launch on July 25, 2017 for the PS4. Pyre is a party-based RPG from the creators of Bastion and Transistor, where players will compete in 3v3 battles called rites in an attempt to lead a group of exiles to freedom across a vast mystical purgatory. Pyre will feature a single-player campaign with an interactive personal story narrative, as well as a local two-player versus mode that pits players against each other in a fast-paced ritual showdown. Supergiant has also stated that Pyre is their biggest game yet, and will offer players substantially more ways to play and more characters to meet than their previous titles when it hits the PS4 on July 25, 2017. Metalhead Software has announced that Super Mega Baseball 2 is scheduled to hit the PS4 this September. Super Mega Baseball 2 is a streamlined baseball simulator that allows players to build their dream team and challenge other players both locally and online. The game features both co-op and versus play, as well as full customization of logo design, uniforms, player appearance, league construction, and sandbox seasons. The company has also stated that players can expect many improvements from the original version, including new character models, both new and updated stadiums, and a fully rebuilt UI when it hits the PS4 this September. Those awaiting the new first-person horror game Perception will have to wait a little longer, as the game's developer The Deep End Games announced this week that the game has been delayed. The news came just one day before the game's scheduled launch, with the developer stating the delay was due to an unexpected administrative snafu. Perception is a Kickstarter-funded first-person horror game where players engage in a deadly game of hide-and-seek, and can only see through echolocation using sound as visuals. Created by a team of former BioShock and Dead Space developers at the Deep End Games, Perception is now expected to launch for the PS4 on June 6, 2017. Future Lab, the makers of Velocity 2X, announced a new title this week called Tiny Trax for PSVR. Tiny Trax is a slot car racing game where players take control of tiny cars and race them around tracks that the developer states are constructed around you in a slap-me-in-the-face this is great VR. Players can compete against AI or battle up to 4 players online in both single race and tournament-style gameplay as they race through environments like tropical beaches, forgotten ruins, and alien planets. Tiny Trax will also feature online leaderboards when it hits the PSVR later this summer. That's all your PlayStation news for this week. I'm here every Friday with a brand new episode. To stay up to date with all the latest in PlayStation, be sure to subscribe. I'm Derek Deschamps for Exclusively PS. Thanks for watching.